Hi, this is CJ with CJatCompRCC.com, and in this series of videos I'm going to be assembling the 3Racing Sakura Ultimate Touring Car. In this segment I'm going to be installing the front and rear sway bars. And time to open bag number 6. Looks like parts for the front hubs, rear hubs, axles, steering blocks, kingpins, etc. Okay, let's start with the front. Is there any difference between these two bars? Okay, we got 3 stripes on that one. I don't know if you can see this. There's 3 little paint stripes on this one and 2 paint stripes on this one. Let's see if they tell us which one. Okay, 1.3 millimeter stabilizer bar and 1.2. I'm assuming that 2 stripes is for 0.2 millimeter and 3 stripes is for 0.3 millimeter, and it does look like that one's just a tiny bit thicker. And the instructions call for you to cut the top off of 2 of the ball caps. That's so that the sway bar can pass through for adjustment. That looks like it should do it. Just cutting the top off to make a pass-through hole for the end of the sway bar to go through. And for the front, we need these little ball studs that have a set screw, and there's a hole top of the ball stud for the sway bar to pass through. So I will tighten this one up once I put this plastic piece in place. This little pink guy here provides a little stop to center, keep the sway bar centered, and with that little groove. So I'm going to do the adjustment on that, the tightening on that, once everything is screwed into place. That would probably be easier to do without any material sticking through there. Otherwise you're going to have the sway bar sticky in the thumb. There we go. I can readjust that now. There we go. Those are hard to get in. Wow. That's not easy. This is why you want to have this not completely tightened down because you need to get that into the groove there and have the sway bar drop in. You don't want to tighten these too hard because you don't want to crush these very small plastic pieces. Okay, on to the rear sway bar. Okay, so these get snapped on to the ball ends on the forward side of the rear suspension arms. Okay, those two are in place. Go ahead and get these parts ready. Then insert the sway bar into these two ends here. And I'm going to go ahead and push them all the way in and tighten them down now. These little set screws, and if you, let me tip this up so it's a little easier to see, on the sway bar, the little mounts that hold it to the aluminum bulkhead, those have some small holes on top of them, and you put the set screws in there and adjust them to hold the sway bar So what I'm going to do is tighten this down until it is touching the sway bar. Okay, now it's touched the sway bar, and now I'm going to back it off just a little bit, about a quarter of a turn, and now there's no play on that side. Okay, so that's now touching the sway bar. Back it off just enough so the sway bar rotates, but it doesn't move up and down. And now we have smooth sway bar action. Okay, that is really slick. Okay, let me just show this to you. You can see they move up together very nicely. If you hold one in position, that sway bar immediately comes into play. The action is very smooth. And there's our rear sway bar assembly.